Okay, so we're here once again in Sword Factory X, although it's not actually quite properly Sword Factory X. As you guys may know, the game is currently down right now. However, there is actually a version of Sword Factory X still out on Roblox, and that is the developer version, or I guess you could say the tester environment version of Sword Factory X. So as you can see right now, on the top of the screen, I'm currently level 322. However, in the other game, I believe I was more or less around level 270 or something like that. I can't quite remember. But yeah, basically what this is the developer or tester environment. Basically mostly used for things like testing new things that are coming to the game, or maybe like testing random things, implementing new things before they come to the game and stuff like that. However, with the game currently being down, they've actually opened this up to everybody so that basically we can still play the game whilst the game is more or less down, with some added little bonuses. So obviously the first thing to note is that we currently have 4,200 times luck, which means that we're getting some crazy things, and that is the reason why I'm already up to level 322 in literally just 36 minutes. Whereas obviously in the other game, it took me more or less around 3 to 5 days to get up to like level 270 or something like that. So yeah, it's kind of crazy right now, but obviously if you do want to have a little bit of fun with Sword Factory X before it comes back, I'd recommend coming into the testing environment, or well, the development environment. And I will actually leave a link down below to this version of the game, because I know a lot of people have been struggling to find the game. I know a lot of people will be expecting the game to be called Sword Factory X Dev or something like that. However, it's literally just called Dev in square brackets, so it's going to be a little bit awkward to find for a lot of people, so I will leave the link down below. But yeah, as you can see right now, in my bank, or well, in my sell station, we're getting swords that are worth like 50 billion right there, 27 billion, 100 billion up there as well. Kind of crazy. As well as over here, we do come over to my bank real quick right now. As you can see, we have just some random opals sat here that I must have just gotten fairly recently. And as you can see as well, another thing to actually add is that they have actually brought back the little kind of like announcements that come up in the chat as well. Now, obviously this wasn't in the game beforehand, however, it is currently in the testing environment, so it'll be interesting to see if this carries over to the game. But on top of that, you can also see basically all the crazy things that people are getting right now. So obviously things like opals weren't exactly that common, uranium wasn't really that common, obviously eternal pluses weren't things that you could even upgrade to. But yeah, as you can see right now with this 4,200 times luck, we're getting a lot of crazy things coming through. So it's definitely a little bit of fun. I guess you could say it's the pickaxe version, the pickaxe factory version of this game. But yeah, really cool. And obviously right now, as you can see, we're already up to Insane Plus Plus. You can get some really crazy swords and just some really crazy value. Obviously, I've never had opal before in the normal Sword Factory X game. Obviously, we've had it before in the first version of Sword Factory and stuff like that. However, we've not had it in Sword Factory X, so this is pretty interesting to see, and just all the different things that you can actually get. Now, one thing that is actually kind of interesting about this version is obviously beforehand we didn't actually ever get the sus thing. However, I do believe there's now a lot of people actually getting this sus variant of the enchant, just because it's all the way down now at 1 in 10 billion instead of what it was before. I think it was like 1 in 5 quadrillion or something like that. And on top of that, if we do quickly change it over, we can't actually change it over to the Ascender or anything. But basically, as you can see, with it being 1 in 10 billion, obviously then you can also get your enchanter up to like level 750. There's probably people up there with like level 1000 and stuff like that. So I do believe there will be a lot of people with that sus enchant. I'm just going to quickly look through now to see if I have it, but I don't believe I've actually gotten it just yet. But if we do have a quick look over here real quick, there's also something back in my bank. But if we do kind of compare it to some things that I have gotten before, I have gotten diamond. Obviously, we did get the opal thing as well. So I probably have actually gotten sus at least once before, kind of just considering the fact that my appraiser is at more or less the same level and stuff like that. So I must have gotten it at least once before. Now, I'm not too sure if it banks or not. We'll have to make sure. We'll just kind of have to keep out on it. But we also got another diamond here, which is very nice. And again, looking through, not really seeing any of this sus enchants, so I'm not really too sure what the sus enchants even meant to be. Whether it is actually something in the game or whether it was just kind of some sort of prevention thing, I'm not too sure. But we're going to keep that upgrading over there for the time being, whilst we have another thing over there in the bank. But yeah, as you can see, it was actually pretty difficult to upgrade to things like ruby and stuff, but right now we're literally getting them out out of the machine, so that is kind of crazy as well. So we are getting some really cool swords that we weren't getting before, as we have another emerald here, but it is a chaotic sword, which is pretty cool. Obviously, in terms of getting things like damage swords, I guess it's not really that important, just considering the fact that we can just upgrade to whatever we want anyways. So yeah, that's kind of cool. But as you can see, we're getting a lot of Supreme people here. We're getting a Stellar +3 there as well, which, as you might know, is actually, just don't teleport me then, I guess. But as you might know, is actually, I believe, the biggest and, well, the top version of anything. As you can see there, Stellar +3 right there. 6 have been produced. Obviously, Stellar Plus and Stellar Plus have not been produced, which is kind of weird. But if we go ahead and quickly just change this over to maybe something like RNG, as you can see, even for me right now, it's still 1 in 278 million. And for my Ascender, it's 1 in 6 million, so still very difficult to get. But obviously, for those people who have been playing this since it's been out, it's probably fairly easy for them to get it. So yeah, if you do want to basically complete the game in like a day, I guess you can come over here and just kind of play the game really easily. As you can see, this is already up to unique miners, which is crazy. We can go ahead and put it then onto our quality, get it up to like 26 trillion, as you can see right now. Although the black text does kind of look a little bit awkward down there, it kind of looks a little bit fat, I guess you could say. But we'll go ahead now and just kind of sell this sword, because why not? But yeah, basically, this version of the game is like Sword Factory X on steroids. Obviously, I did use that expression already for Pickaxe Factory, saying that it was Sword Factory on steroids. So I'll try and find a different version or a different saying to explain it as, I guess I could say. But yeah, really cool overall and pretty exciting. Obviously, we do hope that Sword Factory X does return at some point, just so we can play the actual game again. Obviously, then all the people who lost all the game passes and stuff will get them back. But this here is basically what you can see, kind of like what people have been doing and stuff, and what the developers are up to. And as you can see, it seems like the leaderboards are more or less fixed. Obviously, they don't still kind of scroll down the full way, but yeah, you can more or less see like some of the things that will be coming into the game. Obviously, in terms of complete content with like all these different things over here, I don't believe there's anything new, although obviously you can have a scroll through and check for yourselves by playing the game. But yeah, you can basically see what's kind of going on behind the scenes, I guess, and what's going to actually be coming to the game once the game does re-release, which hopefully will be soon. Now, I'm not too sure why this teleporter thing's not working too well, but oh well, doesn't matter too much. But as you can see already, this thing's up to unique. So yeah, if you want to have a little bit of fun and get a lot of luck, I would definitely come down to the dev environment just to see what you can kind of get and stuff like that. But yeah, thank you guys so much for watching, and I'll see you all in the next video.